Hey everybody, today we're diving deep into Greek mythology, and let me tell you, this one's wild. We're talking about the Minotaur, a creature so bizarre, so terrifying, it'll make your skin crawl. Imagine a monster with the head of a bull and the body of a man trapped in a maze so complex there's no escape. This is the Minotaur, and his story is one of the most enduring and fascinating in all of mythology. We're going to break down his whole deal, from his messed up family tree to his ultimate demise. We're talking origins, the labyrinth, and how Theseus took down this beast. Get ready for some crazy myths and mind-blowing symbolism. This is the Minotaur, and this is his story. So, who is this Minotaur, right? Where does he come from? Well, buckle up, because his family history is about as messed up as it gets. It all starts with King Minos of Crete. Dude's got it all, power, wealth, you name it. But like a lot of powerful dudes, he gets a little greedy. He pisses off Poseidon, the god of the sea, and Poseidon gets his revenge in the most devious way possible. He makes Minos' wife, Queen Pasiphae, fall madly in love with a bull. Not just any bull, a magnificent white bull that Poseidon sent to Minos as a gift. Pasiphae is so consumed by this lust that she has the craftsman Daedalus build her a hollow wooden cow. She climbs inside this thing, the bull falls for it, and bam. 9 months later, out pops the Minotaur, half man, half bull. This thing is an abomination. Minos is horrified, but he can't exactly kill the offspring of a god, can he? So what does he do? He calls up Daedalus again and tells him to build a prison, a maze so complex, so inescapable that nothing can get out. This, my friends, is the labyrinth. Imagine this, right? You're trapped in a maze, walls closing in, twists and turns everywhere you look, and you can't find your way out. Now, imagine there's a monster in there with you, a hulking beastman with a taste for human flesh. This wasn't just some backyard hedge maze. This thing was the ultimate prison, designed by Daedalus, the master craftsman, to hold the monstrous Minotaur. It was a sprawling complex, a network of tunnels and chambers, all twisting and turning, designed to confuse and disorient anyone who dared to enter. People say the labyrinth was so complex, so deviously designed, that even Daedalus himself had trouble finding his way out once he finished building it. And at the heart of this madness, lurking in the shadows, was the Minotaur, waiting for his next victims. Year after year, King Minos would send young men and women into the labyrinth as sacrifices, a gruesome tribute to appease the monstrous appetite of his stepson. So what does a half-man, half-bull monster like the Minotaur eat? You probably don't want to know the answer, but here it is: humans. This thing was a man-eater, and his appetite was insatiable. King Minos decided the best way to deal with his stepson's dietary needs was to offer up human sacrifices. Every 9 years, he'd round up 7 young men and 7 young women from Athens and ship them off to Crete. These poor souls were thrown into the labyrinth with no weapons, no hope of escape, just the certainty of a gruesome death. Can you imagine the terror, the despair? They were lost in the maze, hunted by a monster, their screams echoing through the endless corridors. The Minotaur's hunger became a symbol of Minos' cruelty, a dark stain on the kingdom of Crete. But then a hero emerged, a young Athenian prince named Theseus, who vowed to end the bloodshed. Enter Theseus, a young Athenian prince with a hero complex and the guts to back it up. He volunteered to be one of the tributes sent to Crete, but he had a plan. He wasn't going down without a fight. He was going to kill the Minotaur. Theseus had a secret weapon, Ariadne, Minos' daughter. She'd fallen head over heels for the handsome Athenian and couldn't bear to see him die. So she gave him a ball of thread, the key to navigating the labyrinth. Theseus tied one end of the thread to the entrance and unwound it as he went deeper into the maze. He could feel the Minotaur's presence, hear its snorts and growls echoing through the corridors. Finally, he found the beast, a hulking monster, half man, half bull, its eyes burning with rage. A fierce battle ensued, a clash of man against monster, courage against savagery. Theseus, armed with his sword and his wits, managed to outmaneuver the Minotaur, finally striking a fatal blow. The Minotaur, he's more than just a monster in a maze. He's a symbol, a representation of something dark and primal within us all. Think about it, he's half human, half bull, right? Two sides of the same coin. The human side represents our intellect, our reason, our capacity for civilization. The bull side, that's our raw instincts, our animalistic urges, the things we try to suppress. The Minotaur is the embodiment of that struggle, the battle between our higher and lower selves. He's also a symbol of the consequences of unchecked desire. Remember how he was born? Pasiphae's lust for the bull, Minos' thirst for power, it all led to the creation of this monster. The labyrinth itself is a symbol too, representing the complexities of life, the twists and turns, the dead ends we all encounter. The Minotaur, he's been a muse for artists for centuries. From ancient pottery to Renaissance paintings to modern sculptures, this half-man, half-bull monster has captured the imagination of artists across time. You see him on ancient Greek vases, battling heroes, trapped in the labyrinth. Then you've got Renaissance masters like Michelangelo and Picasso, each putting their own spin on the Minotaur myth. Sometimes he's a terrifying beast, all rage and muscle. Other times he's almost tragic, a creature trapped by his own nature. The Minotaur is a powerful image, and artists have used him to explore all sorts of ideas about humanity, monstrosity, and everything in between. The Minotaur, man, he's not just stuck in ancient Greece. He's made his way into modern pop culture too. We're talking movies, books, video games, you name it. He's popped up in movies like Wrath of the Titans and Percy Jackson, usually as the big bad boss battle. And let me tell you, seeing this thing on the big screen, all muscle and fury, it's pretty intense. He's also a popular character in fantasy novels and video games, often portrayed as a powerful enemy to overcome. There's something about the Minotaur, man, that just screams epic monster battle. Ever wonder why we call him the Minotaur? It's not just a random badass name, man. It's got meaning. Mino comes from Minos, the king of Crete, the dude who, let's be honest, kind of created this whole mess. And Tau, that's Greek for bull. So Minotaur basically means Minos' bull, which is pretty straightforward, I guess. But it's also kind of tragic when you think about it. This creature, this monster, is defined by his parentage, by the sins of his father. The Minotaur, man, he might be long gone in the world of Greek mythology, but his story still resonates with us today. He's a reminder that even in the darkest corners of our myths, there are lessons to be learned. The Minotaur's tale teaches us about the dangers of unchecked ambition, the importance of facing our fears, and the power of human ingenuity. He's a symbol of the beast within us all, the primal urges we struggle to control, and his story, passed down through generations, reminds us that even the most fearsome monsters can be defeated. The Minotaur's legacy lives on in our art, our literature, our collective unconscious. All right, folks, we've covered a lot of ground here. But before we go, let's lighten things up with some fun facts about the Minotaur. Did you know that in some versions of the myth, the Minotaur wasn't just trapped in the labyrinth, he was actually born there? Talk about a rough start to life. And get this, some scholars believe the Minotaur myth might be based on real-life bullfighting rituals that were practiced in ancient Crete. Imagine that, man, facing down a bull in a labyrinth. Oh, and here's a weird one. In some medieval bestiaries, the Minotaur is described as having the head of a man and the body of a bull, which is the opposite of how we usually picture him. The Minotaur, man, he's a creature of myth and legend, but his story continues to fascinate and inspire us today. So there you have it, folks, the story of the Minotaur, a creature of myth and legend, a monster, a symbol, and a whole lot more. We dove deep into the labyrinth, explored his messed up family tree, and even learned a few fun facts along the way. If you dug this deep dive into Greek mythology, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more mind-blowing content, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the Minotaur. Until next time, stay curious, my friends.